another thrilling episode of the Passion Vista podcast, and I'm your host Neetu Singh. Here today bring you stories and insights that ignite passion and strive. Today we have a truly remarkable guest with us, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar. Sanjeev is a global catalyst in healthcare and wellness, and his journey from Wall Street to becoming an award-winning CEO and author is nothing short of inspiring. Let's understand more about him on this podcast. So, Sanjeev, welcome to Passion Vista podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for making the time. And I'm looking forward to this interesting conversation.
Amazing, amazing. We are as glad to see you as we were to see you at Gusto. We're very glad that we could make it with Sanjeev on Gusto with GD Show. So you can stay tuned with us and follow us because we have Sanjeev with us. And also, Sanjeev is being featured in Passion Vista magazine, Men Leaders to Look Up to in 2021. And he's also Hall of Fame for 2024. Congratulations, Sanjeev.
Thank you so much. And, I'm looking forward to Gusto with GD episode. I'm looking forward to that. So please do send across whenever it gets launched.
We're very excited to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So Sanjeev, we are wanting to know that you've been a fascinating career spanning finance, entrepreneurship, and now healthcare. So can you start telling about your journey and your inspirational transition that you've made?
In short, I think I would say I'm a product of trial and error. You just try, you try, you try, you try, and you fail, and you fail, and you fail, and you try.
Right.
It sounds simple, but it is absolutely that. Most of my plans hasn't worked out. Most of the plans I had for myself, I went to the US to become a scientist. I had no idea I would get into finance. No, I didn't even want to get into finance in the first place. I just lost my sponsorship. And when I lost my sponsorship, I remember for at least a week, I couldn't see anything because I was so blinded. I was crying in the night, trying to be a brave person and I was convinced that my life is just gone. That's it. I'm done. And I remember I was talking to a couple of people who were trying to motivate me. And I was thinking, you know what? Thank you. You're being just kind. And these were people in their late 60s and 70s. And they would tell me, kid, you just don't know life yet. Life hasn't happened to you. And it was all blah, 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 blah to me. And I was thinking, hey, feel my pain. I lost my sponsorship. I don't know what else will I do. And I thought, you know what, you're being kind, appreciate it, but no, you cannot relate to it. And by chance, by accident, I ended up being in finance. I had no plans for it. And by accident, I ended up working at Wall Street. By accident, I ended up doing creative products on Wall Street. And then I realized, wow, I really like this. I really like to do transactions. I really like to structure new ideas, bring innovation to the market. And it makes you feel good if you're raising capital, if you're selling products and people appreciate what you have done. It has an impact on you. But at the back end of me, I used to always think, well, it's a compromise. Now I don't feel it was a compromise. I thought, it's the best thing to happen to me. And I always tell people, look, you know what? Don't get emotional if your plans don't work out because how do you know that's the best plan for you? Because based on what I thought at the time, I thought, that's it. I know everything about me. And now I realize, oh my God, I was just a stupid human being.
Oh wow, that's I know that's a journey that actually you live, and then only you understand that how to go about it and how. So how was your learning experiences in this entire journey?
So, I kind of realize now that you don't have to fight, you have to accept. You have to accept and acknowledge everything that's happening with you. It's not that one day you motivate yourself and you think I can motivate the hell out of myself and I'll achieve anything I can achieve. you have to accept that, your journey is going to be miserable. It's going to be very, very painful. And all that is fine because you want to be on that path. It is going to be hard. When people ask me, hey, what's the secret of being an entrepreneur? I said, the secret of being an entrepreneur is be ready to be miserable, be ready to have
True.
sleepless night, be ready to have all sorts of stress, be ready to be burnt out, be ready to be, exploit yourself, be ready to do all kinds of things that you won't be willing to do, and nobody's going to be paying your salary. None of that. There is
Correct.
no holidays coming for you. There is no calling yourself and say, hey, you know what? I won't be coming to office today. None of that is happening. You have to come to the office.
In fact, be ready to sit on the hot
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, 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 yeah. Be ready to go through hell. Be ready to go through all that. And you have to have, you have to match that. The pain, if the pain goes higher, you have to match yourself and match that pain, the pain threshold. So, I know people talk about resilience, but yeah, I mean, you have to be ready to be able to cope. And the only way to be ready to cope is to understand and acknowledge that this is going to be very, very painful. And and when the
Correct.
pain threshold is here and you are here, you will feel overwhelmed. So you have to take yourself here and match that pain and say, you know what, how much pain you can give me, I am willing to take it. And sooner or
Correct.
later you win and the pain stays there. That's what being an
Correct.
entrepreneur is, and that's what I think what success is to me. Because pain gets tired, the hard hard work and all that brings you to a place where you get to a place where you feel, okay, this is the best. The opposite side, meaning the external variables and things that you don't control, it reaches a limit automatically. If you keep trying, it reaches a limit, and then you are here, and that's what people see. People don't see how you got here. People just think, wow,
Yeah.
you are here now. And that's a journey. It takes a lot of, I mean, it's painful, but it also makes you into what you become. No, I think being an
Correct.
entrepreneur
Correct.
is an amazing, a beautiful journey. I mean, whatever I've described. But if I was not an entrepreneur, if I was a scientist, I would probably be a different person. Definitely, 100%. Now I have empathy. Now I understand what is collaboration. Now I understand how you build value. Now I understand relationship, how you can invest yourself right way in right people, how you build a business together, how you build an idea together. I understand a lot
Correct.
about society. I understand a lot about human beings. And, I understand a lot about myself in the process. So, that's what I think being an entrepreneur is. And I say to people, look, nature is the best entrepreneur. Nature never says, that said, I am tired. Never, nature just is at it, and it becomes ordinary. You know, Earth is rotating. We take it for granted. But imagine how much hard work nature must have done to bring us to
True.
a place where everything we take for granted. And I think success
Correct.
then becomes quite boring. You think, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to pop a champagne and you think, oh my God, it's been very painful. I'll just go to sleep.
True. So we would like to know some of your examples where this mindset has actually helped you navigate challenges in your career.
Yeah, I think, I would say I'll take a few steps back. I say, look, most of our identity comes from uh, external sources. My name, your name, nationality, all of that comes from external sources. You have no control over it. And when you are in this type of journey, acknowledgement on adaptation helps you become a different person. And then you're able
Correct.
to navigate the whole thing, as you were saying. So, what it has done for me is when I'm talking to or negotiating a transaction, I genuinely do not want to undermine somebody. Genuinely say, you know what, if
Correct.
it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't work for you, let's just be friends. And people think this is a strategy. It is not a strategy. It becomes part of you, who you are, part of your character, part of your personality. And initially, people think there must be a catch. And When they see there is no catch, they think, what are you? Are you a serious businessman, or you're just a philosopher trying to be a businessman? And when they see
Correct.
the journey, they say, you know what, I would like to be that person as well. Because, at the end of the day, it's about peace. Do you have peace in your head? Do you have peace in your own mind where, you're peaceful? You are at peace with whatever happens. Because at the end of the day, if you're starting a business, the only guarantee you have is it will fail. It will fail. That's the only guarantee. When people ask me, what guarantee can you give me? I say, hey, I can guarantee you that I will fail. I can guarantee you that I will have losses. And they say, oh, that's not a good start. I say, well, if you want to work with me, that's the good start. If you don't want to work with me, it's completely fine. So it has helped me kind of say to myself, okay, we don't have to work with each other, meaning people I meet, and I meet 10 people, maybe out of that, I will work with two of them because I know I'm building a long term partnership. And I'm genuinely very satisfied with my approach because I don't do networking or handing out cards because it's just impossible for you to invest yourself in 10 people. And it's impossible for you to connect with 10 people at the same level also. It's just not possible. So
Yes.
that's what I think my learning has allowed me to navigate. When you go to a place where, it's an event or whatever it is, you know what people are doing, because you've kind of gone through that whole journey. So you sit there and you think,
Correct.
wow, this is what's going to happen. And it happens. And you just laugh at it and say, oh God, people are the same.
Because you have experienced it so
Yeah.
deeply now, you know how things are and what's going to happen. And I think this is very essential to fail, because whenever you fail, you learn. And this actually helps you that how, because see, if you are at a sustainable position and you fail, that's very difficult to handle. But if you are growing and you're failing, you're learning and you're failing, and then when you're getting back, now you're such a strong pillar that now I can trust fully to you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I remember 2 years ago. I mean, it was still COVID 2, 3 years ago, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he had this. Oh, I think my life is failed. Blah blah blah. I said, you know what? It's okay to fail, 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 and then you become a successful failure because you can write a book about how to fail. It might be it might be a, you know,
Yeah,
New York Times bestseller, right? Because 99 ways to fail. People will say, "Oh my God, there is 99 ways to fail." Because so success or failure, it's a perspective. I mean, personally, for
yeah,
me, it's a perspective. And as you said, I have only learned from my failures, not from my success. Because what's there to learn from a success? Yeah.
correct.
What's there to learn? And success kind of is risky also. I mean, I can tell you from my experience. Success kind of puts you in that comfort bubble. You think I have it, I am this, I am that, and then when you become comfortable, comfort can kill you. You know,
Yes,
and you are not. I mean, that's what I said. It's all about sustainability. It's not about being rich for 3 years, being rich for 5 years, being successful for 10 years. It's about dying and leaving behind something. It's about creating a company that will outlive you and last for hundreds of years, right? So if I'm building something, I am looking at that. It's not about legacy because I won't be around anyways to know if my company is around or not. It's about making sure that you build something that will definitely outlive you first, and you can have at least 4 or 5 generation of people. It doesn't mean your family. It can mean anybody. 4 or 5 generation of people who could take it to a different place also. And that's very
correct.
important. That's a mindset that a lot of people kind of ignore, and they're just focusing on, oh, I need to make money. I need to make money. And I said, well, if you need to make money, then money will be kind of far away from you because at the end of the day, money is a byproduct of all of this what we are talking about.
Correct.
Otherwise, you
Yes.
could go and do a job and give your time and expertise, and against that, you get your money. But then nobody's happy with salaries also. And there is no job guarantee. Then there is AI disrupting everything.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true. I completely agree with this. And Sanjeev, you've recently established Harley Street Healthcare Group and Harley Club. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
this is. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's something that I was thinking I would do because as entrepreneurs, I mean, us included, we don't prioritize our health. We exploit ourselves. We exploit
Yes.
ourselves, and then the backache, then the body is giving up, and then we go to the gods and say, "Please look after me," and then we are going to the doctors, and your body is saying, "Look, you exploited me, right?" And it has an impact on you because 70% of our illnesses and the diseases that we develop is all directly linked to our lifestyle choices. And
Correct.
entrepreneurs, us, we just exploit ourselves every day, absolutely without any regret. And only when you develop an illness or a condition, you just look at yourself and you don't blame yourself. You say, "Oh my God, why did it happen to me?" But it happened to you because you were exploiting yourself. It's very simple. So
Yes.
I thought, you know what? I've done that to myself. I've done that to myself where I've had, breakfast in Jakarta, lunch in Singapore, and dinner in Bangkok. And because
Wow.
I thought, I have to taste the tea, I
Looks
have to
wow,
do
but I
it.
can
It's
understand.
very important. And you
Yes.
have 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, but you think, that's okay, that's okay, I have to chase the deal. I have to chase the deal. And then one day you wake up and you just think, oh my God, I don't even remember anything. And that's when it hits you. And you think, oh my God, what if I don't remember? One day I wake up and I don't remember anything. And it has happened to me. And then I realized, you know what? I need to do something about myself. So I thought, you know what? I'll take care of my health a bit more, do more yoga a bit more, meditation a bit more. But slowly, going back to the how we started, most of the thing I've done has been done by accident. I didn't plan for it. I never planned to be in healthcare. I mean, my late father was in healthcare. He was a civil servant in India, and he was in healthcare. And I would tell him, "Why are you in healthcare?" Because government servants don't get salaries at that time. And I used to think, "Wow, look at this guy doing good," but you don't bring too much money to the table. But and he used to tell me, one day you will understand the value of being in this sector. And I just rubbed his head. I said, no, no, thank you. So healthcare has become now for me a project of passion and a project of purpose. So I would say it's where my passion and purpose both meet. Yeah, and
Wonderful.
the model that I looked at it, and sometimes you need an outsider to completely reinvent something. So I came in as an outsider, and I realized the current system is a sick care business. For example, both of us go to a hospital, and we say, look, we want to see a doctor. The first thing they'll ask you is, are you feeling pain? You said no. Are you feeling sick? You said no. Then they will say, why are you wasting time? You don't need to see a doctor. And that is the problem. Healthcare then becomes therefore a reactive process. So only when you're sick, you go and see a doctor. So I don't call it healthcare, I call it sick care business. It is a sick care system, managing sick people. And I realized we need to reinvent healthcare. We need to go from sick care to more healthcare. And how we're doing that is by focusing on prevention, focusing on personalized, because all of us are unique. Even if you and I had an identical twin, our immune system will be different to our identical twins. So you need a personalized healthcare, right? And you need to focus on prevention. And you need to focus on precise healthcare, meaning don't throw everything at it. You have to learn.
Yes.
So we've
Yes.
created that ecosystem where we brought in the best of modern medicine, the best of technology, and we realized that our ancestors gave us 5,000 years worth of ancient healing system in Ayurveda, in Oriental medicine, and Sufi medicine, and all that. So we put all of it together and kind of mapped out what is the healthcare and well-being journey of an individual like ourselves. And then I thought, let's just become an invested partner. both of us had an invested partner in making sure both of us are healthy, then our life will be much easier because well-being and health are related. They're not disconnected. If you're well, you will be healthy, and if you're healthy, you will be well. So I thought, you know what, we have to bring in well-being and health together. That's why we are focusing on healthcare, well-being, and longevity. And our focus mainly is on making sure that we manage the most important asset of our people, of individual. The most important asset of our people is not the building, is not our business, is our body, ourselves, and we are bad
Correct.
at managing it. So we make sure that we help people manage that. We bring in the best of expertise, the best ecosystem, and we help people manage that from cradle to grave, continuity of care. And the idea is to make 90 the new 50. I mean, if you are 90 and you're walking in crutches and you can't, even talk, what's the point of being a 90-year-old? But if you're
Correct.
90 and your body is 50, that's what we're after.
Wonderful. So, how do you do? What all activities or what all a person can do at the club?
So thank you. I mean, so look, we created an ecosystem where we realized that people like ourselves also need to be enabled. So that's one of the reasons why we created the Harley Club. So Harley Club is a place where you have 360 degrees health and wellness need met, and also your 360-degree business needs met, and also your 360-degree personal and business development needs met. So, a typical example, the asset that we have is a 300-year-old building, for example, in London, and we are developing more Harley clubs across the world as well. And then there is a product called the Harley Lounge. So the asset that we have, just quickly, customer experiences. You come in, you have a two-floor of two executive floors, basically. So you can have your networking, you can have meetings, etc. And it's an experience center. So you walk in and you experience 17th century, 18th century palatial Europe. And we've created a experience center in a way where people are dressed in a specific way, not the customer, but people who will be serving the customer are dressed in a very specific way. So you feel like you walked into a European palace of 17th, 18th century. And
Wow.
we made sure that the food that we serve is a healthy food, right? So we are focusing a lot on nutrition. Then we realize, what, we need to give people access to boardroom, because if they're coming here and they don't have access to boardroom, then we created an art boardroom and a library boardroom. Then I realized, people need to work from a secluded place. Because today, if you go to lounges and clubs, there is no place where you can work from. So we thought, what, why don't
Correct.
we bring in the London experience? If you remember, the old London phone box type setup is what we brought in. And it's a secluded place where you can work from. You can do this type of meeting, you could do podcasts, you could do all what you want. And then, if you're having a bad day, press the button, everything becomes soundproof. And you have three options: 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of screaming. Proper screaming. You can bang things, you can scream, you can
Wow.
shout. And the
That's
technology, the sensors are there to support you. And that
okay.
idea came to me because I was thinking, what? Nature has designed us to scream and shout, because when we were kids, all of us were allowed to scream and shout. Our parents would either
Yes.
slap us or ignore it, depends on what culture you come from. I mean, we've been slapped, so I'm okay with it. I didn't say, oh my God, let's call the police on the parent. You get another slap if you did that. That's the generation that we come from. The new generation is
Correct.
completely different. But
Correct.
it allowed our body to manage the imbalance of chemicals, right? But when we become adult, the moment you scream and shout, people look at you and think, what's happening with you? Have you lost the plot? And yoga meditation puts a lid on top of a lid, of a lid, but you're like a ticking time bomb. You could blow up. So it's important to
Correct.
allow that outlet. And when we started offering it, people tried it and they just loved it, and it became a very, very popular thing. And then I thought, okay,
Wow.
after that, what else can I do? Then I realized, after screaming for, generally, whatever people say, nobody's able to scream for more than 6, 7 minutes. You realize, oh my God, you just get tired, knackered, you have no energy. Just no energy. And that's a very deep meditation. It's a very,
Wow. Are the parents and kids both allowed together so
yeah,
that they
yeah,
both can?
you can do that as well. Yeah, then we thought, you know what, because you have no energy, just go to a nice Japanese peace garden because everything looks peaceful. Then enjoy your kind of Japanese tea. And then if you want to feel energized, go and do your ice bath, go to your hyperbaric cryogenic so you feel very energized. So all of that has been mapped out, and then if you're feeling a bit of heart issue, or if you think you're having a heart attack, or maybe you're anxiety driven, or maybe you're not having a great day, you have your cardiologist in the same place, you have a general physician in the same place. So our focus is on
Oh,
mind, cardiovascular issue, gut, spine, and general health and well-being. And at the same place,
I'm so excited to know all this. It's like I want to see you now very soon, and
you
I
should
want
come
to come.
over. And at the same place we have MRI, ultrasound, you name it, and we have it. Because and then it becomes a complete product because then you are there, it becomes your home and your sanctuary. You come in there, you enjoy, and then we are making sure that we enable our members also. So our members, we ask them, what is your aspiration? What do you want to do in 4 years? What do you want to do in 5 years? So that's our onboarding. So if we understand their personal profile, if we understand their business profile, health and wellness profile, we create a customer care plan. And every 3 months, we give them a call with our concierge and walk them through the customer care plan. Are we introducing you to the right people? Because we want to make sure that they have the right network of people as well, because it's important that they meet the right people. And we organize that not by introducing, by we create a curated event because we also do monthly events. So we make sure they kind of get introduced in the right way. So we do that. Then we have a health and wellness program, from their nutrition to their exercise regime to their preventative testing. We've developed a lot of preventative proprietary testing as well for the gut. The idea is to spot a problem in the future, right? And then if we spot that problem, let's delay that problem as far as possible. And that's what we call the longevity, because if you can spot a problem and say, hey, there is an 80% chance you might develop A, B, and C, then with the lifestyle, you can delay it, right? And that's what we are doing. And that's why we have also a hospital attached to the club. So within what we call a mile radius, we have a hospital. So if somebody needed treatment, and the hospital again is not a normal hospital. Hospital has the Harley smell. Hospital has the concierge set up where you come in and you feel like you've been looked after very well. And
Wow.
it's not a hospital that you will typically find. It's like a healing center designed for you. It has different type of music in there. So we kind of made sure that we created our product, our business around people. And then there are other ideas, that we put for community health and wellness, diagnostic centers, and all that. The aim is to make sure we manage our customers' health and wellness requirement globally. So let's say if you were a member, if you and I were a member of the Harley Club, we go to on business. We go to, let's say, Argentina. I'm just picking Argentina because it's A, and it's just A. And let's say one of us was feeling sick. Uh, the good thing is if we both were members, I'll tell you, Neetu, why don't you go to the Harley Concierge app and talk to somebody? Within a matter of minutes, a concierge will start talking to you. A healthcare clinician will start talking to you, and the whole app is linked to your Apple, your Fitbit, your wearable, so they can measure your blood pressure, heart rate, everything, whatever the wearable allows. And then you can have a session like this, but in a metaverse experience. And if they say, you know what, I think you need to see a clinician in person in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, we are onboarding those clinical partners as well, who are our delivery partners. So then we then, as a member, you can, then our delivery partner will come and either see you when you're in the hotel, or take you to the clinic, do all the tests, do all the work, and all that data then gets stored on our cloud system, which currently doesn't exist.
Okay.
So your healthcare, for example, if you are in India and you move to London, your Indian healthcare data gets lost in the system. If I move
Correct.
from London to Dubai and I'm in Dubai now, I my healthcare record in London gets lost in the system. So this becomes a repository where all the data is lost, and then you come back to London, and then the clinicians can advise if what is the next course of action. Is there an issue, or we just need to manage it well? So it's a global business that we are building. We are building a global business. We are setting up centers all across the world, and it's a very collaborative model. It's a membership model. It's a
Amazing.
membership model, and we have health and wellness as a subscription also. It's starting to appeal to people, So hopefully we can have a few more people, and it'll be good to have you there as a member as well. I mean, we'll offer all the complimentary membership.
Sure. You actually worked really hard and formed. I know. While you were saying, I was just trying to collect that you have taken care of all the small details. That a person could go through. This may happen, that may happen. You may feel good, you may not feel good. If you feel good, go this way. You're not feeling good, go this way. So you've taken care of a lot of detailing into the club, which is very appreciative. Like you've done a great job, and certainly we're looking forward to see you whenever we plan to come to London. I would definitely like to come to the Harley Club and be there, and actually want to be with GD to scream.
I'm happy to join you as well. And we are expanding. We have plans for India as well. We have plans for US, and we have plans for Dubai. So we are expanding. So the idea is not to just scream in
Right.
London. The idea is to scream also in Dubai, everywhere.
Amazing. Congratulations to you. You've built a very beautiful club, and you're doing a great job. And we really wish you that you make more centers and you prosper more, because I think this is for the community, this is for the society, and this is very much required. Healthcare and of course networking, both they work great together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and the funny thing is, I was talking to a friend of mine, and because I'm also raising capital from external investors, and he told me, look, why don't you just tell people I've done it for myself? Just tell them, just say I did it for myself, and I just say, you know what, you're right, because he knows me, right? We know each other for 20 plus years. And you could
Right.
just don't apologize. Don't say, "Oh my God, this is the market." Just say, "You know what? I've done it for myself." And then I discovered there is a market for it, and that is exactly the fact of the matter. I didn't go and see is there a market for it. I didn't go and see what is the wellness market like. I didn't even research healthcare market. So it wasn't. I wasn't thinking of it as a business. I mean, I am being very, very upfront about that.
Oh,
And it's only a friend who looks at you and say, "Don't fool yourself. You did it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. If this is your passion now. You wake up. You don't want to discuss your other business. You have no interest in your other business. I see you're doing only healthcare." And I was thinking, wow, you're so right. And so he said, you know what? Forget it. Don't worry about whether the market is there or not. And then when I started talking to people, they started
right.
telling me, oh my God, something like this doesn't exist. And I said, is that true? Something like this doesn't exist? And then I
Yes,
started
yes.
doing research. And that's what some of the analysts don't understand. And they say, oh my God, you have an MBA, you have masters in finance, and you didn't do all of that. I say, see how stupid I am? I just created the thing first. And then I realized, oh my God, this is a global product.
Correct. No, this is an amazing product that you've created, and be sure that once it is out in the market, more with more centers will be doing great, and people will be too much inclined to attend it because you have great features in it. So certainly, we wish you good luck
Thank
for
you.
the great work you're doing. And going forward, we would like to know, Sanjeev, that you've been winning awards like Global Indian of the Year and Man of Excellence. You must have been significant. They are like significant milestones. So, how have these recognitions influenced your career and your personal life?
That's a good question. It hasn't influenced me as such, but it has influenced my friends because, I mean, from the culture that we come from, if you have good education, you went to good university, you know, your friends love that more than your friends and family love that more than you do because you have done that anyway, right? So you don't think, okay. So I remember, my friends will introduce me to other friends or their family and say, hey, this guy won this award, this guy won that award, and blah, blah, blah. But you know what it does for you is it kind of gives you a bit of confidence. That's for sure. It gives you a bit of
Correct.
confidence that it's not just me who feel that I am being useful. There are other people as well who feel that you're being useful. So I take it at that way that okay, this is kind of a vote of confidence in what you're doing. And I
Correct.
think that kind of keeps me grounded as well. That sometimes you just think, well, you can't really be that stupid if people think you are not. So it kind of gives you that anchoring as well. I think that's what it does for me. I don't know what it does for other people. Maybe people have different perspectives, but I think it's a good thing. I genuinely feel it's a good thing for your mental well-being and for your anchoring, because we all seek validation. We used to seek validation
Yes.
from our parent. We seek validation from kids. I mean, your own family. That's the way it works. So
Correct.
validation is kind of good for your mental well-being for sure.
True. True. And also just motivating that you've been doing a wonderful job. So this actually, what you've said is very true. That it's validating that you're on the right path. You're doing wonderful work.
Yeah.
So that's really a
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's not that people will give you capital just because you won the award. It's not an Oscar, really. That you'll get more movies. That, oh my God, you won the Oscar. So your fees have gone up. It's not that, your team is all going to respect you a bit more. Your team is going to say, oh, it's all our hard work that you are taking advantage of. And you say, yeah, yeah, you are right. But yeah, I mean, I think it's more of that confidence booster. I think we both agree it's more of that, and I think supporting. I mean, for I mean, you guys are running an amazing support system for entrepreneurs with GD, with
thank you so
Gusto,
much.
with this type of podcast, because a lot of the stories are very, very good stories. Very knowledge. I mean, there is
Correct.
a lot of wisdom out there, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the bandwidth, right? I met some interesting people in the events that you've been organizing, Passion Vista has been organizing. And I realized that, these are very, very interesting people with interesting ideas. And you have been able to connect to them and being able to highlight. And now the world is able to see, okay, there are people like that also. So I think it's an important work that you guys are doing. So keep going. Keep
Thank you
going.
so much. It's a validation you're giving to us.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am not giving the validation. I'm just saying that this is what you guys are doing. I'm just an observer, observing it,
Thank you.
and I'm just saying that what this is a very, very important thing that you guys are doing. Yes, there is a business model, and there has to be, but at the end of the day, it also encourages a lot of entrepreneurs that I am finally getting heard. My business is getting a bit of recognition, and I've been talking to some of them, and it really helps them. It gives them the confidence because otherwise they just think, well, because everybody's struggling in their own head, everybody's struggling with their own business, and when they're sharing themselves with you, uh, and you are kind of now putting them on the center stage and telling the world, hey, this is a business, this is an enterprise that also exists. It really helps them. I mean, it gives them confidence. And I've seen some of the people who have connected with me after the event, and I've seen when I saw them, and in a few months, I see, wow, this person has a, a lot more confidence in themselves.
Yeah, that's very true. That's true. because this boosts their confidence, and they even when we see them prospering, and when we see these kind of platforms are giving them a
Yeah.
networking with each other, so that's really motivating for us also, because we're at the right path, and with right set of people, actually, those who are actually making and creating a beautiful community all together for each
Yeah,
other.
no, absolutely.
So
And as you said, they're real people. They are very, very real people. They are unfiltered people. It's not that they are running a PR machine. They're unfiltered people, and they're doing some great work. Really, genuinely, they're doing some great work. And and you guys have given them a platform to showcase what they're doing, and that is something that I think I've seen the change in at least a couple of people that I have seen when I met them. And when I see them now, I think that they see the confidence, and within their own family, people are starting to see the change as well. So yeah, well done. I mean, and that does a lot of good for their mental well-being also, because at the end of the day, they see and they read their story, and the story is not made up. The story is real. They are real people, and the struggle is also real. Their business is real, and other people read them and understand them as well. Because I mean, they cannot keep selling their own story because it just doesn't work.
that's true. They need a medium, and we're just acting as a medium for their own stories, for their own way of presenting
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah, and I think this is an enabling job that you guys are doing. This is where I said, you know what, they well done. I mean, and I'm hoping we can collaborate even further, and hopefully we can do things together as well. And that's one of the reasons why I put together this Harley Club as well, because there is no support system for entrepreneurs, health and well-being. I mean, they have to go in a reactive healthcare system, which we discussed already. It's a sick care system. They don't know, for example, when I was telling a friend of mine that, he said, explain to me how will this nutrition program work? I said, so I'll give you an example. So I was giving an example. I said, look, let's say before onboarding you, we discover that you are allergic to A, B, and C. That's one thing, you know it already. But if we discover if you keep eating A, B, and C for a long period of time, you might develop A, B, and C conditions. And if we have kind of captured that, and our clinicians have given you a customer care plan, let's say you come to Harley Club in London, or Harley Club in New York, or Harley Club in Dubai, and you order something that is not advised or approved by your nutritionist, it will get canceled. And the concierge will come and say, sorry, sir, but you cannot have dairy. And he said, oh my God, that's like my wife. She really doesn't want me to have that product. I said, see? And he said, I love it. I love it. When can I join? So, that's
Wow.
what, because we are all busy with our life. We want to delegate some of our decision making. We
Yes.
want somebody to tell us, no, you're not having that because they like that, because you cannot eat that.
Correct.
No, 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 none of that is going to you because it's not good for your health. And if they're going to New York and somebody says that, they feel kind of connected that, oh, God, somebody cares. So that's
Right.
the
Right.
emotional
Right.
connection that people are also seeking. And these are, I mean, the friend I was talking about is a very serious CEO. And he said, I'm coming in as a member. It's just good. I mean, if I said, no, just not just in London, globally, uh, if you order something that's not good for you, it will simply get canceled, and the concierge will say, sorry, we have to cancel your order because we see that it's not good for you, but we have a replacement.
Oh, that's
If somebody is allergic, I mean, gluten allergy and all of that, again, they don't have to tell people that I am allergic to this, I'm allergic to that. It's just that everybody knows in our ecosystem, okay, this individual has a specific care plan. And that's very personalized that I was talking to you about, because that's what people want.
right. Correct. True. Very true. So Sanjeev, here I'm unfolding another chapter of your life, which most people must be knowing. If they do not, then this is a chance to know that Sanjeev has written 5 books on self-discovery and the human mind. And so, Sanjeev, How do your writings reflect your personal and professional journey?
Wow, that's a loaded question. Uh, and I like to think. Writing, I think personally, really helps me clear my own mind. When I write, I a lot of the half-baked ideas that I have, a lot of the opinions I have, a lot of the discovery that I am in the process of doing for myself, kind of puts me in a frame of mind where either I bin them or either I say, hey, this is worth writing about. And
Right.
when I write, I'm not trying to inform anybody. And most of the time, I'm trying to inform myself. Whether I write poetry, whether I write philosophy, whether I write business ideas, because my books are complicated. There is essay on life, there is poetry, there is a bit of personal story, there are a bit of business ideas as well. There is no one theme to it. I mean, in one book, I have kind of summarized everything. And when people ask me, why did you do that? I said, oh, because, I'm in India and I have to have 3 degrees, 4 degrees. I have to have everything in there because you never know what will sell. Obviously, it's a joke. I say, I
Yeah.
decided to get 3 master's degree because I thought, what my dad was saying, what if you get unemployed? So make sure you're never unemployed. I said, yeah, that's a great idea. But jokes aside, it's that mindset. Some of us are poets. I mean, we just don't know it. Some of our are philosophers, and some of us have a lot to say. We just don't say it.
Yes.
And I decided, what? Only by writing I can learn about myself. And when I started writing, people started telling me, "Oh, you need to write a book." I said, "Well, who will read my book?" Then I wrote the book. A lot of people came to me and said, "This is an amazing book." My biggest surprise was this happened to me, and I was very shocked. So we have Joe and the Juice near. I'm not advertising anybody, but we have a place here in my area where I live. And one day, I had my coffee and all that, and somebody brought me a nice healthy juice. And I said, "What? It's not my order. It's a mistake. I didn't order it." And then they said, "No, no, no. That's coming from that lady." And I said, "For what? Why this? Why would she send me? I don't know if she's a friend or what." And then I said to her, I'm grateful, but I just wanted to understand why would you buy me this drink? And she said, "Oh, I loved your poem, The Self Discovery. Amazing book." I said, "Oh my God. This is," I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes, look, I have that book." And he said, "This is a bribe. Can you sign it?" And
Oh,
and I felt
wonderful.
I felt elated. I thought, "Oh my God, this is happening to me. Is this serious?" So I signed that book, and I was thinking, "Wow, this is." And I didn't market it. I didn't do anything, to be honest. And then she's the one who said you should market it. You should get somebody to really. And then I went to Amazon and I saw her review and 5-star review, and I saw more reviews, and I thought, wow, people genuinely like the writing. So then I kind of carried on, and I ended up writing 5 books. I mean, in fact, my 6th book is also ready, but I'm just thinking, no, no, I'm not going to write because my team says, hey, you just cannot keep writing books because people will think, something. I mean, look, I'll give you an example of my own dad, late dad. When I told him that, Papa, I have a book written on poetry, my dad didn't respond. So after a week, I called him again, and he said, "Beta, let me ask you a question." I said, I mean, in Hindi, obviously.
Right.
And he said, "Look, is your business okay? Are you doing okay?" I said, "I think I'm okay. Why?" He said, "Why are you writing books?" I thought, wow, what an endorsement from your own father. So it's good to have family. They kind of keep you grounded, and you think, I've written a book. If you go to your dad and your dad says, are you successful? Because, people who write books aren't really successful.
Successful. Oh my god.
He gave me a few examples of some failed writer as well. And he was telling me one of the prime ministers of India that he liked. He said, "Oh, he wrote poetry. Like, in, what happened to him? You see, he was a poor
Oh
guy."
my.
Apparently, poets don't make money. I thought, "But Dad, I'm not writing books to make money." So he didn't
Money,
understand it. I
right?
said, "Look, this is something that I do for myself." He said, "Okay, as long as
Passion.
yeah, as long as you're not worrying about money and your business is fine, keep writing." I thought, okay, next book I'm not talking about it with my dad. But it's that. It's just pretty much it helps you understand, it helps you kind of see yourself, it helps you connect with people. And obviously if you find people who genuinely, I mean, this lady was a complete stranger, and now we are goodish friend because we've kept in touch. And she's read all my books. She criticizes also some of the essays that I wrote, and she said, "Oh, you're coming across as somebody's too pessimistic about human beings." I said, "Okay, okay, let me let me change that." So you kind of develop a relationship with your audience as well. The other thing was during COVID, I sent a copy, at least 50, 60 copies of my last book, From the Diary of a Nobody, to care homes. And I just thought, what, these elderly people will be kind of, bored, locked up. So let's just send them the book. And again, that was not marketing. I just said, it's my contribution. And I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. And then 6, 7 months down the road, I just started getting a few emails. I thought spam emails. So I ignored a couple of them. And then when I was clearing my spam, I thought, okay, this looks interesting because it's my thank you to you for your book, blah blah blah. I said, okay, let me read. And you have an 82-year-old saying to you that, wow, this chapter helped me change my perspective about life, and I think I can die happier. Then it hits you. I
Oh,
think, oh my God, are you serious? And then I replied, I said, hey, I would love to have a chat with you. Can I come and see you? Blah, blah, blah. I kept sending messages. I kept sending messages. I got no response. So I just, I went back, saw the email, and there was a mention of that care home. I called the care home and I said, hey, I would like to talk to them. And then the people told me, oh, the gentleman is no more. I said, oh, wow, that's bad. But I was, I was very, very pleasantly kind of had a smile on my face. I just thought, wow, this is an 82-year-old with so much life experience telling me that I have managed to change his perspective and he will die peacefully. So that is the perspective. I
wonderful.
mean, that is what I think my book has done for me, for some of the people. And it has sold. I mean, last time I was checking, I think there are 25, 30,000 copies being sold. So I think, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
wonderful.
not bad,
Wonderful.
not bad.
Doing a great
Yeah.
job. Very, very beautiful. So, Sanjeev, what advice would you like to give to young entrepreneurs, to people around you, to society?
So I think I don't think I have an advice for people. I don't think I can preach or advise anybody. I think being an entrepreneur uh, is a choice that you make. If you want to make a lot of money and you want to become rich and famous and all of that, yeah, okay, of course, that's a choice you can make. But being an entrepreneur is also about believing in what you want to do. And if you're not passionate about something, I think you will get tired anyways, because you will just simply get tired and say, again, nothing. Success won't come to you if you are not mad about it. If you are not, you have to be mad about it. There is no other
True.
rosy way to put it, because you will be misunderstood. People won't believe in it. You will be ridiculed. A lot of people will just politely ignore it. A lot of people won't understand it. And if you're not passionate, if you're not mad about it, you will lose hope. You will become depressed. All of that. And I won't advise people to do it if you are not mentally strong. If you think I need compassion, I need empathy, you're not getting it from the world. You're not getting it from the society. You will have to have 99% of the time or 99.99% of the time rejection. And you might even have 100% rejection. You might have an idea that will simply not get funded, will simply not start. And, you might think, oh, well, this is it for me. And then after 10 years, you might come up with another idea, and all of a sudden it gets funded and everything is fine. So there is no universal recipe. That's why I just discourage people to buy a success book or listen to a podcast of a successful people. Because look, every journey is unique. Every journey is unique. I mean, your journey, my journey is completely unique. And sometimes, we need different type of runway to take off. Some people take longer to take off. Some people take short runway to take off. But it's not about the take off. It's about sustainability. For how long can you keep things sustainable? And I think that perspective matters because you can take off, you can do a capital raise, but then you can crash land and bang, you're done. You're rich for 3 years and you can talk about it. Oh, I used to be a millionaire. I used to run a successful company. But then the word is I used to be, right? So it is that, build something that takes off, keep it sustainable, but also remember that you have to hand it over to somebody else because you will run out of ideas, you will run out of love for it, you will run out of passion for it because you're only human being. I mean, you will run out of passion for it. What I'm building right now, I'm very passionate about, but I also know I probably have good 10 years to give. And after that, I have to hand it over to somebody who has better ideas, who can take it to a different place. Because sometimes you get emotionally attached, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But you need to also know how to invest your emotional capital, right? That's very important because it is important not to get bogged down in negativity because your mind becomes your biggest enemy sometimes. And you have to take a step back and say, you know what, maybe my idea is rubbish and try to kill your idea. And if you cannot kill your idea, it means maybe your idea is not rubbish. So then what happens is you discover a conviction. You don't have an arrogance. You know why you think your idea is successful, why your idea will work. And I am just saying from my own experience. I mean, every time I have an idea, I don't get excited about it. I want to just cook it, bake it, and criticize it internally. And if I criticize it and I keep improving it, then I go to other people. And then I say, what do you think? And other people will criticize it. And then when I see, okay, the criticism is not standing because it's just a criticism, then kind of the resolve kicks in, the conviction kicks in, and then you invest your emotional capital in it. And then it becomes your passion. And then you wake up and you say, you know what, I know it will fail. If it fails, who cares? I'll still do it anyway. Because, I have said to myself, why do I create misery for myself? But then I realized I like doing hard things. I have that stupidity in my head. I like doing hard things. And I cannot go and sulk and say, oh my God, why did I do this? This is so difficult. No, I am doing it because I will not be doing anything else. So that's the advice, really, because some people want to get rich, some people want to be billionaires, trillionaires, and blah, blah, blah. All that is great, but it's not going to last if you are just chasing that. It's just not possible. You have to have passion, and passion doesn't come just like that. There is no switch. Sometimes you don't know you're passionate about something. You just discover it by being involved in it, and you say, oh my God, this is where my passion is. People think there is a switch. You go and read a book, or hear somebody's podcast, and somehow you will have a switch, and then you will discover your passion. It hasn't happened to me. I mean, people I know, it hasn't happened to them. I've done so many things, various businesses that I have. I never thought that healthcare will be my passion. Never thought that. And when I started it, I was doing it as a need. I thought, wouldn't it be nice for me to have something like this? And it was just need based. And then I realized you created a product which is so need based that it's been built around people. And then when I talk to people, I've talked to clinicians, I've talked to CEOs, I've talked to scientists. I mean, most of them seem to like the product, and I kind of sometimes think, okay, if everybody likes it, there might be something wrong with it. Or it's a good product. so, so there is that also.
Oh, right. So, Sanjeev, as we are very close to the end of our podcast, I would like to know. I would like to tell to the audience that Sanjeev is a great philosopher. His books are all on self-discovery and philosophy. So, Sanjeev, we would like you to share your philosophy of life, which as you just shared with us, that your amazing readers have been giving you a great feedback which you loved, and even we are very glad to know about them. So anything from your book which is beautiful, and a philosophy which would actually help people to recreate themselves.
Yeah, I mean, so this is, I think, you know what, it's all about sharing. I mean, only when you share about yourself, people can relate to it. That's how I've seen it. We can all relate to each other because, we are a different version of each other. Basically, that's what it is. So when I share through my poetry, through my essays, through my social media posts, and people say, "Oh, this is so relatable," then what happens is you also understand them and you understand yourself as well. And I think my thinking is this. I think a lot of people are trying to understand themselves from by reading a lot of information and by trying to go and read 50,000 books, but they're not living. I said the only way you will understand yourself is by living. And when you're living, you have to understand that it's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be painful. If you want to fall in love, there will be heartbreak. If you're in a relationship, there will be problems. You have to acknowledge. You have to accept. And I think one thing I say, there is a poetry that I wrote. I will try to just summarize it. I was in the park and I was looking at a flower, and I said, you know what? I come here and I appreciate the flower. I like the flower. But the flower is probably not interested. The flower doesn't even know it's a beautiful color. The flower doesn't even know probably that it will die. I give the flower a bit of relevance because because the way flower makes me feel. And that's why I wrote a poetry about it. And a lot of people kind of related to it that, wow, this is a different perspective to it. And I think that's what we are. We are just, I think my job, I mean, now I can say I'm an author. My job as an author is to give perspective to people. To not.
True. So, would you like to share a few lines from your poetry, if you
Okay,
remember?
let me find a poetry that I will just have to give me a minute because I will just find that and I will read it probably. Because it was
Please.
very well received, so I will read it and let's see what you think of it. Yeah, so I wrote a poem called "The Story of a Girl." So I will read maybe it's uh, it's not it's not more than 2 minutes. I promise. I hope it's not. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
please.
So the
Love to
title
hear
of
you.
the poem is "The Story of a Girl." It goes like this: I knew a girl who was a bit shy, scared to tell the world that her eyes now run dry. She tried to put herself in words, but the words won't come to her even when she tried. So she thought maybe a part of her has died. She swallowed her sorrows and felt as if there was no tomorrow. A world will judge her for her being her. So breathing heavy she was as if her life was a curse. And one day she broke. She couldn't hold on to the tight rope. The pieces of her lay broken on the shore. But that's not how her story ends. She learned to dance till the very end. found a way to nurse the curse. She knew there could be nothing worse. Her eyes could see through the deepest of ocean. Her each breath could calm the most furious of oceans. This is the story of a girl who, by learning to swim through the darkness, became the ocean.
Wow, wonderful, beautiful poem. So, what is the name
The
of the
story of
poem?
a girl. That's the name of the poem.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And where can our viewers read your
So
poetry?
there are a number of books that is available on Amazon, and this is from the Diary of a Nobody, which is my fifth book. This has been taken from my last book that I wrote.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Must say you are an amazing author.
Thank you. I mean, this is so this is again me giving a perspective. You know, a lot of people reached out to me and say, "My God, who is this person? Do you know this person in the real life?" I say, "Hey, this could be a story of my mother. This could be a story of my sister. This could be a story of so many people I know on the planet." So
Right.
this is not a story of somebody I know, etc., etc. And then they realize, okay, and a lot of people can relate to it. I mean, a lot of people think that, wow, this is something. How did you manage to write it? I said, I don't know. I just gave a perspective.
Mm, correct, correct. So, Sanjeev, we would also like to know that your club, Harley Club. So, how can people reach out to you, or how is there any website where they can get the membership?
Yes, so we have a website for the club called theharleyclub.com, and there is another website called the Harley of London .co.uk. So a lot of information is available on these two websites, and people can always find us on LinkedIn as well. The main group is called the Harley Street Healthcare Group. We have a couple of brands. One is the main brand is the Harley of London, and it's Harley of London, made by Londoners for the world, and the Harley Club, obviously, and then we have the Harley Lounge. So people can find it. So the website for Harley Club is theharleyclub.com, and for the main brand is the harleyoflondon.co.uk.
All right. So, we'll keep the links in the description so that people and viewers can follow and get in touch with you on that.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely a pleasure having with us, Sanjeev. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Same here. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You too have a great weekend ahead. And we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors that you've been doing. And all our best wishes and blessings are with
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon.
you. Very soon. Very soon.
Take
All
care.
right. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Take care. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Okay. To our cherished audience and viewers, thank you for tuning into the Passion Vista podcast with me, Neetu Singh. We hope you found today's episode as inspiring and thought-provoking as we did. Stay tuned for more captivating discussions and interviews that ignite passion, inspire growth, and empower you to reach new insights. Until next time, remember to stay curious, stay motivated, and continue pursuing your dreams with unwavering determination. This is me, Neetu Singh, signing off. Wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Keep watching and keep showing your love to us. Thank you and love to all.